Principal Sir, myself, Anwar, Head of the Department, welcome you all. Good evening to all the participants from various engineering colleges. It gives me an immense pleasure to welcome you all to the first day session of 5-day faculty development program on renewable energy technologies integration to the power grid and clean vehicles. With the blessings of our founder chairman and MD Lion Liu, all our endeavors have become more successful. I thank our CEO sir, Dr. Liu, for permitting to conduct this CP. I thank our principal sir, Dr.J.Balamurugan, for the guidance given to make this program happen today. I welcome all the faculty from the Science Institute of Technology and from various engineering colleges. I also put appreciation on behalf of Department of Physics to the coordinators, Dr. M. Jagdish Kumar and Dr. T. Sivalan. Regarding today's chief guest and speaker, Dr. J. Balamurugan. Sir is working as Assistant Executive Engineer in DNEB and JETCO. He is a member in ECW, IEI and TVSC. He is the Vice Chairman of IGES. He has 2 decades of experience in various fields of technical areas like installation, administration and maintenance of various networking stations, generation, transmission, distribution ranging from 110 megawatts to 660 megawatts, generators 230 by 400 kV steam line, indoor gas insulated substation, outdoor substation, HVAC operation and maintenance, IoT, AMR, smart metering process. His experience is extending. He is a project coordinator for CNERC, NHAI and RAPLab. He has organized more than 25 workshops. He has delivered lectures in 10 symposiums and 30 seminars. Recently, he has organized 12-hour virtual conference Energeton in ITES. With his vast experience, I thank you, sir, for accepting to give a lecture in our department. I hand over the session to Balamurugan, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction, sir. I foremostly thanks to the college who has instituted the facility management in the virtual world, and also I need to thank all the staffs who are virtually present there, so for listening to the lecture. So I directly, because it's already time, so I'll directly get into the session, sir. Thank you so much. I'm sharing my PPT, sir. So what that be? Okay, so the picture also shows the importance of the education value as well as the modernization of electrical system. So we are the only people powering the world. So even during the lockdown, we could see that the entire world is sitting inside the room, and the electricity people alone working 24/7, so that we always enjoy the power in our room. So because in case if there is any power failure, all the people who have experienced what is the temperature around us. It's more than 108 degrees Celsius in Chennai. We could really feel the heat even today in the evening hours. So that is the workflow of all the electrical engineers. Hats off to all the engineers working behind. So the modernizations has brought lot many things. So can you put mute to all the people except me, sir, so I can also just concentrate on it? Would that be feasible, sir? Hello? The organizer can mute all the people except the escape. Would that be advisable for me to continue, sir? Yes. Okay, fine. So it's a lot many innovations going around the world in order to make the world modern. So the modern world has also put electricity to make it so fundamental that the electricity need to have a smarter people and smarter system in order to handle the complex structure. So this is the way it goes on. We could see that more opportunities are available, as Sir Jagdish Sir was revealing about 2030 opportunities and challenges of electricity. We could see that the next part of the world would be looking forward with electrical people alone. So the employment opportunities are very great, that we would be having a very great opportunity in each and every industry. It's not alone for electrical industry. Every industry would be looking at a perspective that all the electrical engineers are employed there. So even in a mechanical industry, say for example L&T or the Leyland, who is looking after vehicles, they would be looking for electrical engineers who would be the foremost important working behind electric vehicles. So that is the main part. And also the people who are working in aeronautical engineering, they would be also working with the power satellites, so where the drones and other things are going to play a vital role. So even electrical engineers will be flying even beyond our space in order to work with the electrical system. So that is the space available. So the endless space is always there. So we could see what is the modernization which is going around the world. So with the video, so the expectation from the speaker myself is something like the advent of fourth industrial revolution, which is ruling the world today. During the lockdown, we could see that the virtual classrooms are available right now. We could connect all the people through virtual conferencing. That is the advent of fourth industrial revolution. That is one example. Innovation. So that is going around the fourth industrial revolution is something like the smart grid or IoT solutions that is feasible. And building a cloud-based intelligent personalized learning system is also available. That's where we could see that a cloud system is always available. The portal which gives you the opportunity to connect here, and also we could see the PPTs and other things loaded in your personal computer itself. That is the way of cloud-based system. PaaS, platform as a service, client as a service, and lot many it is going on. And AMR AMI, that is the infrastructure development, where every individual meters, earlier the meter would be read out by the people who are working in TNEB. Right now it is been Digital India, where the digital meters are being placed, and every cell phone would have the facility to work with energy conservation also. That is the possibility of digital world. And moreover, our intelligence says that why can't we have a automated system that is going to work with artificial intelligence? We would be having an imagination say something like this. My imagination says that so when we say genie, what is the load now? So it would be responding something like this. Today, today's Tamil Nadu demand is 14,400 megawatts, and the demand has been fulfilled by 13,000 megawatt with conventional renewable energy resources. And there is a shutdown for 2 hours in this area, and this can be averted when it was maintained properly. So that could be the anticipation level of artificial intelligence. So this can be picturized through a video. So I'll just place a 2 minutes video, so which should give you a clear-cut view of each and everything.
Our current electric grid was conceived more than 100 years ago, when electricity needs were simple. Power generation was localized and built around communities. Light bulbs and a radio. The grid was designed for utilities to deliver electricity to consumers' homes and then bill them once a month. This limited one-way interaction makes it difficult for the grid to respond to the ever-changing and rising energy demands of the 21st century. The smart grid introduces a two-way dialogue where electricity and information can be exchanged between the utility and its customers. It's a developing network of communications, controls, computers, automation, and new technologies and tools working together to make the grid more efficient, more reliable, more secure, and greener. This smart grid enables newer technologies to be integrated, such as wind and solar energy production and plug-in electric vehicle charging. With our participation as informed consumers, the smart grid will replace the aging infrastructure of today's grid, and utilities can better communicate with us to help manage our electricity needs. The smart home communicates with the grid and enables consumers to manage their electricity usage. By measuring the home's electricity consumption more frequently through a smart meter, utilities can provide their customer with much better information to manage their electricity bills. Inside the smart home, a home area network, or HON, connects smart appliances, thermostats, and other electric devices to an energy management system. Smart appliances and devices will adjust their run schedule to reduce electricity demand on the grid at critical times and lower consumers' energy bills. These smart devices can be controlled and scheduled over the web or even a TV. Renewable resources, such as wind and solar, are a sustainable and growing source for electric power. However, renewable power sources are variable by nature and add complexity to normal grid operations. The smart grid provides the data and automation needed to enable solar panels and wind farms to put energy onto the grid and optimize its use. To keep up with constantly changing energy demands, utilities must turn power plants on and off depending on the amount of power needed at certain times of the day. The cost to deliver power depends on the time of day it is used. Electricity is more costly to deliver at peak times because additional, often less efficient power plants must be run to meet the higher demand. The smart grid will enable utilities to manage and moderate electricity usage with the cooperation of their customers, especially during peak demand times. As a result, utilities will be able to reduce their operating costs. By deferring electricity usage away from peak hours and having appliances and devices run at other times, electricity production is more evenly distributed throughout the day. The power being used right now was generated less than a second ago many miles away. At each instance, the amount of electricity generated must equal the consumption across the entire grid. Smart grid technologies provide detailed information that enables grid operators to see and manage electricity consumption in real time. This greater insight and control reduces outages and lowers the need for peak power. In control rooms across the grid, engineers will be able to more precisely and predictably manage electricity production, reducing the need to fire up costly secondary power plants. The distribution system routes power from the utility to residential and commercial customers through power lines, switches, and transformers. Utilities typically rely on complex power distribution schemes and manual switching to keep power flowing to their customers. Any break in this system caused by storms, bad weather, or sudden changes in electricity demand can lead to outages. The smart grid's distribution intelligence counters these energy fluctuations and outages by automatically identifying problems, then rerouting and restoring power delivery. Utilities can further use distribution intelligence to predict and manage electricity usage with the cooperation of their customers, leading to lower production costs. The charging of a plug-in electric vehicle can be managed over a home area network, or HON. The HON can balance the demand for electricity across the household and prioritize between the electric vehicle and other appliances to manage electricity usage and reduce costs. With smart grid technologies and consumer participation, utilities can more easily handle the increased demand for power to run the electric vehicles and ensure charging needs are met. By adding more plug-in electric vehicles to the grid, we have the potential to reduce fuel costs, lower our dependency on foreign oil, and help reduce greenhouse gas emissions.
Yes, actually the video shows the past or the future. So the video was shooted more than 10 years back. We could see that even today we could not see all these functionalities working today. So why this is happening? So whether we can achieve it or not, is it possible for us to work on with the system? Whether we are capable of delivering things, whether we have the question that whether we have the opportunities to work in such industries or capability to go there. So there are many questions going around us. So what is happening there? So what we can do is something like we need to modernize the world. So myself, Dr.J.Balamurugan, working as an assistant executive engineer in TangentCo. So I'm also heading as a vice president institution of green engineers, which is working on green innovation club. So that is my introduction. So I'd go ahead and have the what is power system engineering. So what is the expectation? Power system engineering is an important branch of electrical engineering that deals with the generation, transmission, distribution, and utilization. This is what been dealt, but the background says that it is a smart grid. Sir, actually it is disturbing like anything, so why can't we mute everyone? The organizers can look at a perspective for reducing the disturbance actually. Thank you. Okay, so the power system engineering says that it is the branch which deals about the important branch of electrical system, which deals about generation, transmission, and distribution. This is being published every day in every book. But whether our electrical engineers are capable of delivering things, yes, it is a great question mark. We need to work on it. So what can be done to it? So intelligent power system is something like we need to have the chip embedded in our brain itself. So that is going to be there. So we need to work with the complexity. So every system, so who would look at a distribution system from which more than 400 to 500 lines are coming out, means there is a confusion that whether the power line which is coming from particular house is going to be burned out or not. But still the complexity is being derived, or it is being easily handled by electricity people without stopping the power for the entire village. But still individual people queries are being handled. So how come it is possible? So it is because of this complexity. So early to mid 1980s, providing a solution to the complex problems in many areas of power system engineering, it was very tough and it was very tedious. Presently, with artificial intelligence, many constraints can be handled easily, such as economic load dispatch, load forecasting, optimization of generation and scheduling, transmission capacity, and optimal power flow with real and reactive power limits of the generators. Bus voltages as well as transformer taps, load demand in interconnected large power system, and their protection is also possible through intelligent system. So like putting a paragraph itself, it is very big, but still we need to handle the economic load dispatch, means it is a mammoth task. Load forecasting, every day it is changing, or every minute the renewable energies are going to change. How come an operator who is sitting in the load dispatch center going to handle it in a different way for a continuous power flow? For 1 minute, if it is going to be shut down also, then the entire scenario is going to change. So most of the effects in the power system analysis have been reduced because of introduction of AI. So what is the AI? So why there is a need for artificial intelligence or intelligent system with an upgradation needed? So for industrial development with power system expansion, stability, strengthening, reliability. So the foremost is reliability of the informations or technical advancement, and selection of dynamic response of the power system is essential. The video said that earlier it was a dump node. The electricity was passing to the individual customer. The individual customer was enjoying the power flow. If there is no power flow, he need to complain or run through pillar to post. Nowadays, it is been two-way process of communication. That is the smartness embedded to the meter. So whenever the participation of the customer is also being embedded to the system, then it is very much easier to handle it, like a DSM, or it can be of electric vehicle which is going to be charging the individual vehicle, but it will be also feeding back to the grid. So that is the possibility of two-way communication. The communication system is also two-way. The power flow is also two-way. It is going to be there, but as such, it is all imagination only. So we need to, we people who are listening, we need to make the world such a world where we are experiencing each and everything within the time limit. With the growth of the power system, complexity in the networks is being increased tremendously. Power system analysis by conventional techniques and conclusion from the acquired data, the process for information management of remote devices and utility become complicated and time consuming. So when we give a 5-bus system or 10-bus system to make an economic load dispatch, it would be running through pages and we could not arrive at a solution. For 3-bus system itself, it is a hectic solution. When we want to have 30-bus system or 300-bus system or 50,000 bus system to be handled, how come it is possible? So I can give you an example. Like said, our Prime Minister on a day of the second lockdown 2.0, so he said that he would be working for the switching of the light for only 9 minutes. So that was the situation where the power grid managers were working for the past 2 days. So they didn't even have a sleep in order to make sure that all the grid is not been islanded or isolated, or it is working fine for the entire 9 minutes, because the entire world is looking at a grid where it is more than 175 gigawatt of power is being controlled by the largest populated country. So in that case, if a blackout is being occurred, so Google has published in 2014, a part of North India was disconnected due to some problem, technical glitch. But Google has published is something like the half of the world, that is the population, world's worst blackout occurred during this period. That was the statement that was published in Google. So that means that our infrastructure is very big, and the response what we need to have is something like we need to give moral support to the entire grid as an electrical engineer. As necessity is the mother of invention, artificial intelligence developed the help of sophisticated computer tools to make it much more easier. So this is the need and the necessity of the power system to get into the artificial intelligence. Power system analysis by conventional techniques become more difficult because the system itself, it is very complex, and the versatile and large amount of information which is to be used in calculation and diagnosis and learning, it is very hectic that it cannot be mathematically done through papers. So it need to have intelligence. 9-minute shutdown was simulated, and we had a very good plan that the grid won't collapse or the blackout won't occur. So that is the simulated outcome of artificial intelligence. The complexity what we handled is something like the South India alone handles around South India, roughly speaking, the entire part of the country would be loaded only in South India. So the maximum load would be 50% of the Indian grid would be accumulated in the industrial area. So that means that South India would be having more than 50 gigawatt of energy. Means if 50 gigawatt is coming down to 2000 megawatt, you assume that the opportunities are the grid collapse. So that is the complexity of the problem, that we need to make sure that the grid is having sustainable growth or sustainability with the power available. The demand, we can't generate and keep it isolated, but we need to depend on the demand. We need to handle it in such a way that the demand is matched with the generation so that the frequency is maintained. Increase in computational time period and accuracy due to extensive and vast system data handling is one of the major drawbacks that need to be upgraded to intelligence mode. And artificial intelligence in power system, what are all the areas that is worked with artificial intelligence means? So artificial neural network, ANN. So artificial neural network, expert system techniques, fuzzy logic systems, genetic algorithm. These find it's important. These are all the techniques available in artificial intelligence, and these techniques are been foremost find its usage in power system analysis. The people working on with the technology like ETAB or PSSC or whatever the software which is being utilized for simulation, they handle it in artificial neural network or expert system. So that is the technology that is behind it. So expert system. So the mostly we look at a perspective. We need to be a expertise in order to maintain the power. So expertise in sense, the people who is sitting in the LDC shift will be having 5 phones or 10 phones in hand actually. So when there is a power flow, generation need to be maintained. If the generation is going on, there would be a disturbance in the transmission system. The transmission also need to have if there is a live wire snapping, then the power need to have flowed through one particular wire is around 3000 megawatt. We assume that the power flow in a transmission system is 3000 megawatt and there is a snapping there. So in that case, that 3000 megawatt is thrown off. If that is being thrown off, the generator people don't have the opportunity to evacuate the power. So that is the situation. So in that case, what could be done to the alternative? So if the parallel circuit is also not working, then again it is an issue. The generation is not there, the demand would be rising hectically. So it is like an exponential series. the summation of power plant. He says that it is assumed that it is a thermal power plant and it is a cold start or a warm hot start. A hot start would take at least 1 hour or half an hour depending on the intelligent of the power system. That is because even in the generators we don't have intelligent system embedded into it. So all the fuel system need to be automated, and depending on the automation the power would be generated and that would be transferred to the line, and thereby the grid collapse is being it need to be eradicated or it need to be planned accordingly. So this is where it works on. The user, if intelligent system is there, the user even don't know what is happening behind, what is the generation or what is the transmission. If that is not there, then every day the calls would be pumping like anything, that this is not working, that is not working, equipment is failing, or every day the frequency is not stable, or load shutting down is there. Lot many problems could occur. So we don't want to get into the negative side of the system, but we need to go into the positive side. Economic load dispatch, generation and operating planning based on load forecasting, optimization of hydrothermal generation scheduling is very much important area where artificial techniques need to be embedded. So it's something like whenever we talk about load forecasting, we pinpoint at a finger and say that today it would be sunshine and tomorrow it would be thunderstorm, and so there won't be any power. If that is the case, if it is not been synchronized with the active demand, then we can't go ahead and have renewable energy. Nowadays, we just started up in India. We have renewable energy management center, which is being integrated with the regional centers also. So they are evacuating the power. Much of the power which comes to the grid are from renewable energy. Because why I am saying this point is something like artificial intelligence has enhanced the load forecasting in such a way that the variable, the cloud or the heat wave or the thunderstorm or the climatic change due to global warming, that has put the electrical grid system to a burden. But still the load forecasting has pitched a value that every day the grid is generating more than 175 gigawatt of energy through renewable energy. Means it is obvious that the artificial intelligence has made it, and the optimization is also given an opportunity to work with the digital world. The power transmission capacity and optimal power flow, real and reactive power limits of the generator and the system reliability. These are all much more important. So we always calculate the active power only and not the reactive power. Today there is a point that the smart meters can have THD value in that. So whether the generator is going to draw more reactive power or it is going to supply the reactive power. The generator alone can supply the reactive power. As such, when the loads are connected, the reactive power demand would be very high. The reactive power flows from the load to generator. So in that case, if reactive power is generated from the generator itself, it can be compensated, but it can't give active power. To an extent, it can say, for example, if 210 megawatt has 210 megawatt capacity, but still it can give only 50% of it, because reactive powers generate more heat, and so the generator cannot have the cooling system to handle it. In that case, if all the loads are switched on, all are inductive load, 98% of our load are inductive in type, and so the reactive demand would be higher. The complexity is something like, if the reactive power is not being compensated, then again the active power is going to reduce drastically. If active power is going to be down, then what would be? The frequency is not stable. If the frequency is not stable, the grid itself, it is a collapse. So the optimal power flow is caters the very much important, which need to be worked out with artificial intelligence only. Control of voltage and frequency for system stability sizing and control of fax devices. Fax is something like it's flexible. So the name itself, it gives a flexible, but if we have a complex system and if there is no flexibility, then it would be very rigid that it can't act smartly, because the electron travels at a higher speed. It is traveling at the light speed, and our thought process goes beyond its level, only we can handle it, or else we need to travel at the rate of electronic speed, our thought process. So analysis of electricity markets and strategies for bidding. Nowadays it is open market only. So every day when the utility is going to compensate the demand, it is not going to have its own generation. It is going to work on with power exchange only. So in that case, bidding should be of higher value. Once it was 7 rupees, the solar purchase was around 7 rupees. Nowadays it is only 1.5 rupees, or it is even minimal depending on the demand or depending on the time. Automation for power restoration and management and fault diagnosis and security margins, that is very much important. The security margins need to be given, and this can be handled only by artificial intelligence. By manual mode, if it is happening, then it is a trouble for us. Planning and operation of distribution, network reconfiguration, demand side response, and management of operation and control of smart grid can be done only through artificial intelligence. So we need to plan the distribution system. We say that whenever a individual goes to a distribution center and he sits beside an assistant engineer and he wants to have a service for him. So you imagine that he takes up the paper and write it, and you come day after tomorrow for signing up with all your documents, and later after 1 week they would have the site visit, and after 1 week the meter is being procured from some other area and tested for 1 month. And after, if it is installed in the system, and if the connection need to be given by an individual who is absenting himself, means for giving a service itself it would take 2 months. If that is the case, it could be a daydream only. So now it is possible within 1 hour in TNEB we could get the supply. So that is the opportunity that is available here today. With a perspective of RAPDRP and the new systems which is working there, you can apply through online itself. 1 day service is being established. It is something like the GS mapping has also been enhanced, so that whenever a person get into a distribution system, or you want to get a service, it is very much easier. That the cumbersome work has been made easy, and the ease of doing business is also been done in a wonderful way. So research enhancement in power system analysis, stability assessment and enhancement, power system control, fault diagnosis, security assessment, load forecasting, reactive power planning and control, and state estimation. These are all the areas the entire researchers are going on, but still more researchers need to be done in order to make it so simple. So this is the mirages around power system is something like the main feature of power system design and planning. The reliability is always a mirage. So reliability of service is not there. Today it would be working, tomorrow the plan of action would fail, because this would be working for this particular situation only and not for many other situations. Conventional techniques don't fulfill the problematic essence of power system. This leads to increase in operating and maintenance cost. So O&M charges are very high. So whenever we put a smart meter and say that you need to bear the cost of replacement, then again it's a problem for the consumer. So the smart system is something like it is an enhancement or the participation of the consumers with the utility, but still we need to make sure that the cost, the operating and maintenance cost is within the control. Plenty of researches are being performed to utilize the current interest of artificial intelligence for power system application, but the researchers are yielding very less amount of outcome from the engineers. So we need to have make in India. So I'm not talking that researchers are not going around the world, but we need to have simulation software or simulation technique that is being derived by an engineer who is from Sai Ram Engineering College. So that may be the opportunity. So it is something like the global engineers who are working as lecturers or research scholars, they need to bring about a change to the world, that electricity has an opportunity that it is being fulfilled by Indian engineers and not dependent on any other part of the country, and we always export the power to some part of the country. The reliability need to be established within 2025, and we need to have a surplus power which is being supplied to Sri Lanka, Nepal, Pakistan, or any part of our South Asian countries, only because that our electrical engineers have made it done. The dream transformed into thoughts. A lot of research is yet to be performed to receive full advantages of this upcoming technology for improving the efficiency of electricity market investment, distributed control and monitoring, efficient system analysis, particularly power system which uses renewable energy resources, where every day every lecturer or professor talk about renewable energy, but the outcome of renewable energy is something like it is always a mirage. So we need to work on with a research where the entire college is being powered only through renewable energy. There is an opportunity for every college that they need to install power resources through renewable energy. So every college's load, say assume that we are disconnecting 1 megawatt of power from engineering colleges. We assume that 500 engineering colleges are there. 500 megawatt is being disconnected or it is powering to the grid, means there is an opportunity that it can be supplied to the poorest part of the country. So that could be the enhancement. I'm not saying that we need to reduce the power demand, but we can utilize it for some other purpose where agriculture production would be increased. So that is the opportunity. So we are talking about intelligence or artificial intelligence. So what is the crux of intelligence or artificial intelligence? What is all about artificial intelligence? So natural intelligence says that it is responding to the situation, having a flexibility. So the flexibility of a situation, human can respond automatically depending on the situation. So when there was a sound, I just gave some information to our coordinators. They have actively done it. But a computer, whether it can do it, means automatically it would have done even before the sound came into play. So that is the opportunity that is having an intelligence, and it is artificially done. Means the makes sense of ambitious or error. We need to make sense, and it is something like when a robot is talking, the human cannot understand what is going on, but the human can work with the situation and he can respond accordingly. So assigns relative importance to elements of the situation. So the human can give a relative importance to the element, whether it is going to be human or it is going to be a car. If a driverless car is going on, if a policeman is going to stop us, the driverless car would respond in a different way. The human driving there would be responding in a different way. That is the situation. Finds similarities even though the situation might be different. So the similarities could be understood. It's something like we could find that the data which is coming through the power cable or the data coming through the fiber optic cable, it is going to be both the data which is going to be work, and it can find its similarity and it can get connected, AMR or AMI. Draws distinctions between the situations even though there may be many similarities between them. So there would be also similarities which will be distinctly identified, and it would be worked by humans only, but still we need to go ahead and have artificial intelligence. So what is artificial intelligence all about? Artificial intelligence is the study of how to make computers do things at which and at the moment people are better. So that means that if an intelligent fellow is there, so we need to replace that fellow with the system, so that if the intelligent fellow is leaving that particular position, it should not be playing back. So we need to have an alternative. The intelligent fellow can't stand there itself because he would be wandering here and there because he is very much intelligent. But a dump node would be always staying back there. So for an industry, dump node is always a dump node. It would be staying back with the industry only. But an intelligent system is always that when the intelligence is being studied or it is being documented, we need to have an automation there. So that is the process which is working on. So the constituents of artificial intelligence works something this way. It is the human thought process. What is the thought process which is going on? That can be simulated through some heuristic methods, and these heuristic methods can be worked with non-algorithmic formulas also, and we can formulate it with a equation, and the equation can have the knowledge using the symbols. The characteristics we associate with the intelligence is something like it need to work automated, and where the people are better, so that is the opportunity where it can be replaced. So these are all the constituents of artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence versus human brain is something like is the ability of a computer to act like a human being. So we can't expect a computer replaced by a human being, or a human being is being replaced by a computer. But occasionally, according to the situation, we can make sure. During the COVID-19, the robots were brought into the service of even in our Rajiv Gandhi Hospital or in hospitals where it was serving the human being. It is something like when a person can't go ahead and do it, we can have the robots working there. So it is think humanly and act humanly is called the human nature, and think rationally and act rationally according to the program, it's the robotic nature. It is called artificial intelligence. The latest techniques in power system is something like line scout, replacing human workers for dangerous and highly specialized operations such as live maintenance of high voltage transmission lines has been a long-standing effect in the power community. It's something like a 400 lines should be switched off means it is very much easier to say the word, but 400 line is being switched off means the power evacuation of 2000 to 3000 megawatt is going to be it is not being evacuated means the entire generation and the system is going to be a block. In that case, we need to have a technology where it is going to be automatically cleared without any human intervention. But even today, TNEB has a facility where hotlines people are working without keeping the power off. They can directly clean the 400 kV surge lines and other things. So it is possible only with manual intervention, means the human are more intelligent in electricity board, but we need to have a replacement. If that particular person is not there available, then the system may collapse. We need to think about the future. So that is the opportunities. And the latest techniques in that particular area is something like we expected the 3-axis robotic arm has been designed to reach the 4 conductors of the typical transmission line. One end of the arm is equipped with a point-able camera, and the other can hold a variety of tools such as high-quality visual inspection, infrared inspection, checking the condition of splices by measuring the electrical resistance, tightening and loosening bolted assemblies, temporary repair of broken conductor strands. These are all the opportunities that is done by this particular robo. So this robo can do all this line scout. So this is possible where the human if he is hanging from 400 feet, then he could not see the conductor. If he sees that there is 400 kV, then he falls from that particular height. The mind won't be working like this, but a robot can do it exorbitantly, doing all such activities here. So this is one such opportunity. The other opportunity is something like snake robot can be devised somewhere where the human cannot get into, or the service is not possible. After installation of all such equipments, getting into the breaker or getting into the system and replacing or visualizing the problem itself, it is a mammoth task. A snake arm is performing maintenance at the nuclear power plant in Sweden. One such video was available. I got the screenshot of it. So this is where the snake arms robots are there. So this is the full view of snake robots. Whether the digitalization is needed in power system, yes, it is very much needed, and every engineer need to work on with the crash platform. So that is the need of the hour. Okay, so how do I visualize and how should I achieve it? As a lecturer, as a student, or as a power system engineer, what I need to do in order to get it into the virtual reality. So everywhere they are talking about augmented reality and virtual reality. Whether I can work on with the virtual reality or augmented reality means yes, I need to work on with the augmented reality. The Steve Jobs, once he was a dream, and right now he is, even though he is not there, everyone trying to have an iPhone in their pockets as a pride. It does not make a sense to hire smart people and tell them what to do. We hire smart people so they can tell us what to do. So this is the importance of the smartness embedded to the system. So every individual has a smartness, means we need to hire the smart people, or smartness to the system means he talks about a different way. We need to make sure that we are becoming smart. So that is the approach. So if we teach today the way we are taught yesterday, we aren't preparing the students for today or tomorrow. So we need to have a look at this perspective also. Today we could see that Industry 4.0 has come up. So I have a video to showcase these things. So I'll just run through what is going on around the world. So it says that it is 1.0, it is mechanization, but 2.0 it was electrification, which changed the entire world. 3.0, it is about the automation which was invested and integrated by 1970. We need to make a point that it was installed in 1970s itself, but we could not even realize or visualize it even after 2020. So it is 3.5 which gave the globalization opportunity, where the manufacturing sector has an importance in China right now shifted to India or Philippines. This is an opportunity to COVID period. So now we look at a perspective in the lockdown 4.0, we could see that the digitalization has brought industrial 4.0, that the virtual classroom is going on right now. It is only possible for us by only the industrial 4.0 has given the opportunity. So introduction of connected devices and data analytics and artificial intelligence techniques to automate the process further. These are all the technologies which is available in industrial 4.0, but we need to talk about, or we need to think about the future, which is industry 5.0, that is also been documented, which has been already tethered to the system actually. The fifth industrial revolution or industry 5.0 will be focused on the cooperation between man and the machine, as human intelligence works as harmony with cognitive computing by putting humans back into industrial production with collaborative robots, workers with upskill to provide value-added tasks in production, leading to mass customization and personalization for customers. These are all the inputs that has been taken in 5.0, but we have an automation, means it is automation of the system only. But we need to work with human and machine interface. We need to think at a perspective. I need to work with myself as a robot. I need to imagine that someone is sitting beside and talking on behalf of me, and so I would be working with some other simulation result showing to you people there. So that is the imagination. So we need to work on with that particular system. So future education or industry or business, so which should be inclusive of such things. Robotics, manufacturing services, undesirable jobs. Lot of jobs are there in robotic system. UAVs, surveillance, logistics, security, connectivity, artificial intelligence, data analytics, machine learning and autonomous vehicles. Singularity, quantum computing, augmented humans, nanotechnology. So this is one such technology which is going around the world right now, whether the virus has been pumped into the system or it is a pre-existing one where the nanotechnology or the augmented humans can predict the virus to be cured or not. But still there is a question mark whether we can apply these sort of memories to our computer. Yes, we can do it. It is the intelligent systems that we need to work on. So it's UX and UI, the interfaces that is been included. So where earlier the computer was used only for computing or writing the newspapers or editing it, but today we could see that we could have a conference or we can do simulations or we can connect the computer and have the TV connected to the system wireless. So that is also possible. That is a imagination or the reality. It depends on the individual. So it is about the 3D printing. Earlier the car was manufactured by 1 month. Today it is been printed and we could have a 3D printed computer or 3D printed mouse or 3D printed car or 3D printed house within 1 hour. So that is the factual of engineering. So we are utilizing it. These need to be upgraded. Our engineers need to have a value added service through it. So we need to have the gigabyte of the economy where the currencies are being encrypted, and we need to have the cryptocurrencies. There is an information says that the China has abolished all the currencies and they are going ahead and have digital currencies due to COVID. But even India can adopt it, or it is about to go ahead and have it. That is the opportunity we have. Technology driven education. So we need to come to the education. We were talking about all the technologies available somewhere else, whether the electrical system have it, whether our education system has an embedded in it. So the new technologies evolve at exponential pace, and there is no historical precedent that marks the beginning of evolution, hence being called disruptive technologies. Artificial intelligence, robotics, Internet of Things, or industrial Internet of Things, automated vehicles or autonomous vehicles, bio and nanotechnology, 3D printing, material science, quantum computing, and energy storage, which is visualization. Every engineer need to talk about energy storage, means the renewable energy. Particularly, they need to talk about this energy storage. So that is the opportunity which is going on. So, asking rate of the education, young people need skills and experience for jobs for the future and not for the past. So, that means that 70% of the young people currently enter the workspace in jobs that will be radically affected by automation. That means that we engineers need to come out with the technology where the automation has been pumping, or we need to at least have the knowledge of what is automation, what is artificial intelligence, and that and all. So occupation, entry level roles of young people are disappearing. So that means that today you need not talk about that I am just reading electrical system book with the 7th semester book that is been dealt in 5th semester itself. We need to have clubbed courses. I am just complete with my internship with artificial intelligence, sir. I have completed the system with some PSSC coursework, Homer software. Lot many things are there. So electrical engineer need to equip himself with lot many technology to handle the situation. The asking rate is very high, but we are in a slower phase only. So how technology is shaping is your future. So education 4.0, there is a term called it as education 4.02. Education 4.0 is the response to the needs of industrial revolution 4.0, where human and technology are aligned to enable the possibilities. I just give you the information alone. I will give you a video which talks about it. Okay, so what is industry 4.0? Okay, so the new vision of learning promotes learners to learn not only the skills and knowledge that are needed, but also to identify the source to learn the skills and knowledge. Learning is built around them as to where and how to learn, and tracking of their performance is done through database customization. Peers became very significant in their learning. They learn together and form each other, while the teachers assume the role of the supporters alone. So they would be the facilitators. They are called the facilitators in their learning. So this is education. I can give you an example. Earlier we were talking about the cricket, 11 fools playing and 11,000 fools watching. But today we have dream, that is called a dream team. Actually, there is an application called Dream, and even before the match starts, the people are ready with their players. Today Dhoni would be coming down at the 4th place, and what to say, like the bowler would be coming in the 5th round or 6th round. So these are all the ways people are talking, and they are betting like anything. That is the virtual world, augmented reality. But when the player comes onto the ground and he hits the 6, he gains it and he earns much more things. The same way the education system is also has brought lot many things. We could see that the people who are doing the lockdown, so who are in the lockdown, the lecturers are working 24/7 in order to put a webinar in the morning, so that the evaluation is done through the virtual world itself. So we can see it something like this. So the skill set that is expected for 2020 is complex problem solving, critical thinking, creativity, people management, coordinating with others, emotional intelligence, judgment and decision making, service orientation, negotiation, cognitive flexibility. And then the future jobs with Industrial Revolution 4.0. So what is Industrial 4.0? So it talks about the advent of 4th Industrial Revolution, and it's talk about the intelligent information society, and the digital transformation has brought Internet of Things, cloud computing, big data, artificial intelligence, and mobile technologies. So these are all the technologies available, but we are traveling at 1G speed only. The 5G speed is expectation. The 5G wireless network, it is 280 times faster than the LTE. Long-term evaluation are 70 times faster than the 4G technology. How we are going to go about doing that one? So I can give you an example. So there is an opportunity that a student or a lecturer, so who is working there, want to do a part-time in the college. Like say the asking rate of the canteen is 200 bottles per hour, and they want to set up an industry. So the asking rate is something like they want Coca-Cola, Pepsi, as well as the other drinks which is available there, and he need to set up an industry. So today they ask 200 per hour, and later the college is going to be closed and they need only 1 bottle or 10 bottles per hour. So in that case, whether the industry would be surviving or not means yes, it would survive through artificial intelligence or industry 4.0. How it is possible means we could see that is being explained through a video which would be coming in the next slide. So tipping points expected to occur by 2025. These are all the expectation. 10% of the people wearing class and reading glasses connected to the internet. That is, we could see that even the COVID period, the police who are wearing the glasses, they could identify the people with the heart temperature, and it is been connected to the cloud computing, where it can identify and it can pinpoint how things are going on. So 1 trillion sensors connected to the internet. The first robotic pharmacist in US that has been appointed already. Pharmacist, the HIPAA firms, they are highly technical system working with the pharmaceutical industry in US, but still they have robotic pharmacist in US. They are already appointed. The first 3D printed car in production, the first transplant of 3D printer liver is also been done today. Driverless cars equaling 10% of all cars on US roads. That is US, but today we don't have even a single car in India, but we engineers can make it. 90% of the population using smartphones. Globally, more trips, journeys via car sharing than in private cars. That is possible only through, because of this driverless car, the globalization. So the more and more jobs are to be integrated, and that is going on. So social changes due to the fourth industrial revolution, intellectualization, that is human machine interface. So technology including machine learning, deep learning and big data makes machine think like a human. Changes in recognition of human identity and job topography are commonplace. So why I talk about all such things, if I need to work on with the power system, means we need to know what is the technology available and how the technology can be embedded to the system. If at all I am not giving a reason or the technology behind it, we could not even think about how it can be applied to our power system. So that is where I have made a slide that talks about the social impact of fourth industrial revolution. The virtualization is something like new products based, it's virtual reality, augmented reality, smart car, telemedicine, virtual labs, virtual general daily lives and social economic activities. Human experience and cognitive domain become blurred. New service in various fields of industries can be created. Hyperconnection, it is the hyperconnection we need to proliferation of digital network and mobile devices expand the range of human thinking and think to think interaction, that is internet of things, that is possible. So I need to run through the slides because it is already time, so I need to work with the system. So characteristics of technological process: infinite increase in data, explosive growth of the network, infinite expansion of computing power, artificial intelligence, the increasing the value. It is self-explanatory. We could think that what could be the changes of the future society: role change between human and machine, combination of real and virtual world, evaluation of emotional and computing technology, convergence through smart technology. So that is possible. Global change trends in response to the fourth industrial revolution. It is something like the same thing which is being dealt. So it is 2018 to 2027. We could see that storage from all robot and services, the internet of things, wearable internet, 3D printing and manufacturing, implantable technologies, big data for decision, all these have come up. By 2025 or 26, we could see that 3D printing and customer products are done through only the intelligence techniques. AI and white collar jobs, the sharing economy, driverless cars, all these are possible only through intelligent systems. So educational innovation in fourth industrial revolution era, it is the blended learning. What is that blended learning? So we could see that we could have the cloud services which is been working on, where the teacher is putting all the informations and the students log in, and they could see that the learning community, digital viewer, learning portal, private services is also available, where the Byju's and other things are brought up. It is about the software as a service, platform as a service, and education infrastructure as a service, which has been integrated into the system, where the transformation from contents centered digital textbook to intelligent digital textbook platform, maximizing open extensibility, durability and accessibility by adopting outstanding technology. Earlier the students were not doing projects, they were forced to do the project. But today we could see that the projects being given as a mini project which enhances their idea. They come up with small satellites as well as an electrical student who is working who is joining in the first year. He just come up with an idea that why can't we have an electric bike race? So that is possible only because of all these platforms, which has given a tremendous changeover, which is 180-degree shift in this industry. That is Industrial 4.0. So all such things are available. We could see an example how things are working on. So we could see a video here.
tomorrow's manufacturing. Product. Fine.
One moment. So I'll just expand it. So whatever things I told is very simple informations only. So I could give you a video so which throws light on that particular area where this is which is making an effect of the technology binding. So one moment, sir. So this was that I was talking about. So okay.
Products finding their way independently through the production process. Intelligent factory machines and products communicate with each other. Cooperatively driving within an internet of things.
Actually the bandwidth is very low, so we could see that all the opportunities are there, but still we could not even share the informations because of the technology or automation that is not done through the data, because everywhere the power is there, but still we could not even realize that the data is available to 100%. So I'm having a very good internet connectivity in my home, but still we do not be broadcasted today. The technology what we have is not having the reliability. So that's what been talked today. So it is about the today's grid, which has been the centralized grid with all such things are interconnected in a single way. So we could see that the platform is going to provide tomorrow's grid, and the opportunities are something like it is an isolated microgrid, and we have the opportunities of each and everything into the central pool pumped in, but it is decentralized network. All such things are coming to the centralized information only, but everything is connected, but in a disconnected world. So that is called decentralization. So it is about the tomorrow's grid. How to achieve it? So people talk about the big dream. So we need to dream high, and so we need to work on with the action plan. So dream big and take action, get to work and reach the goal. So our vision 2020, we need to be proud of Abdul Kalam sir that we are gifted to be there in 2020. He always used to say that failure is the stepping stone for success. Fail is a first attempt in learning. You just attempt and you make your failure registered, so that the failure would be the stepping stone for success. How to achieve it means it is not an unachievable milestone, but we need to plan accordingly. So that's what been defined here. So industrial automation or computing, so it talks about lot of things: computer, controllers, actuators, sensors and software. If a water need to be controlled, we need to throttle it. So throttling is human, means we can do it, but how an automated system can work is something like the water tank can be automated, something like a flow meter which is going to monitor the flow of water, or the volume of things can be calculated through the flow meter, and it also can have the higher limit as well as lower limit. The higher limit is going to be sensed by the sensors, and the actuator is going to close it once it reaches the brim. The same way the automation works in the something like this. We need to work on with the industrial automation computing. integrating the computers, controllers, actuators, sensors and software. All these have been given as a pack through Arduino or Node MCU or we call it as a computer. It is called low power devices. The controllers which have been devices is called low power devices. Every chip manufacturing company is going to integrate a chip. Even the newborn baby is going to be integrated with the chip. I think so. In the future, it would be happening. So who knows? The world is so big that it can think about something else also. So the concepts need of the hour. We need to work on with the technology binding. So what is the technology binding? The realities of modern manufacturing. So once underdeveloped countries, example China, India, Mexico are becoming major players in manufacturing. Industrial outsourcing, parts and products once made locally are now being made offshore or near shore. Local outsourcing, use of suppliers locally to provide products and services. This is all possible only through automation, and it is not, the automation is not going to reduce the job opportunities, but it is going to increase the job opportunities in a different way to fulfill the needs of the global and not to the localized people. So that means that we are enhancing an idea where the automation is going to reduce the error limit and it is going to upgrade our system. The employment opportunities are going to be in an exponential series, and all the electrical engineers find a way to work on it. So, but still we need to know what is what. So we will just go ahead and have small information. So I would be completing in another 5 minutes. I'll promise you that I'll be completing. So contract manufacturing, companies that specialize in manufacturing entire products, not just parts, under contract to other companies. Trend towards service sector. Service sector plays a vital role where the GDP growth is being done. So every electrical engineer finds a way to get a job as a service industry. Quality expectation. Customers, both consumer and corporate, demand products of the highest quality. Need for operational efficiency. Manufacturers must be efficient in their operation to overcome all the trouble. Manufacturing approaches. So it is the asking rate is something like you need to have automation, flexible manufacturing. So the video was not running, but we need to know that flexible manufacturing is possible. If demand is for 500 bottles also in single industry working under one roof, maybe in 1500 square feet itself, it can do the wonders of flexible manufacturing. Quality programs, integration and lean production. That is the marginal effect that need to be taken care. So, and we need to have an example of automated system, means automated machine tools, transfer lines, automated assembly system, industrial robots, automated material handling and storage systems, automatic inspections for quality. So if we have time to get into any of the industry, get into nearby our place, I can give you an example. Salcam is one particular industry where the automation is to the core. Actually, from entry to exit, it is fully automated, and more than 200 people are working there, and more than 50 engineers are controlling the 200 people working through automation. So that is the opportunity we have. Every cell phone or every charges manufacturer around the world has importance here in Salcam. So that is the opportunity there. So next part. So reason for automating: to increase labor productivity, to reduce the labor costs, to mitigate the effects of labor shortages, to reduce and remove routine manual and clerical tasks, to improve worker safety, to improve product quality, to reduce manufacturing lead time, to accomplish what cannot be done manually, to avoid high cost of not automating. So everything is there. So we need to focus what we need to do. So obstacles are frightful things you see when you fail to focus on your goals. So I've been talking about all the digital process which is going on. So what I need to do? So what I need to do in order to achieve it? So whether I am capable of doing it or whether the capability can be enhanced. So it is something like we need to work on with the system. So it says that Internet of Things can do the wonders. As people, everyone are connected through Internet only. The things are going to talk. The non-living things are going to talk with the living things. That is human-machine interface. That is going to possible. So what is IoT? The Internet of Things is the network of physical object devices, vehicles, buildings and other items embedded with electronic software, sensors and network connectivity that enables these subjects or objects to collect and exchange data. So it is IoT. It is where it is means it is everywhere. Every part of our objects are connected through Internet only 20 billion or trillion sensors are being connected. You see that wearable tech. Every day you see that the mobile is connected to the watch and the fridge is also been connected. So today we could see that the City 2 serial can be watched through the fridge itself, not going to the hall, switching from home to kitchen, or that is hall to kitchen. So the embedded system has brought lot many things. The healthcare system, everything is being monitored, and the doctor gets the information whether the vital informations are correct or it is accurate. The accuracy level is all been maintained. So there are lot of connected devices. The market is also very high. We can get into all such industries. Mega trends are provoking rise in the energy demand. So we see that urbanization has made it. So today we could see that a lot of people are moving from urban to the rural and rural to urban depending on the labor. So the service industry has an opportunity, means the energy demand is very high. We need to make a point that what engineers can do or what electrical engineers can do, what are the opportunities available. The digitalization, it is going to connect 50 billion connected devices by 2020, which is an opportunity. So the 150% of the energy consumption by 2050, it is only possible through energy demand. So our world would be more electric, more distributed, more connected, and it will be more efficient because we engineers are going to be working there, making the world so prosperous. So everything is there. So it is about smart buildings, smart energy, smart water, smart mobility, smart public services, smart data centers, smart integration. So what I need to do, so in order to achieve it, so I could see that the solutions are always there, but as an engineer, what I need to do, employ the right people to make or reshape the industries to transform cities or lives. So it can be done. So we need to work on with the energy management, whether the energy transfer to the villages are high or the demand which is higher in cities. Yes, it is equally good because during the farming season, so it could be the higher in the agriculture sector, and during the night hours or in the summer days, the AC load is very high, and if the industrial load is very high, then the cities are going to be having the higher. So depending on that one, we need to manage the energy and we need to make the automation. So cyber physical systems are the system which is going to connect the entire world. We need to know about it. Okay, so a lot of things are there. So but we need to know the realities and emerging needs. The current situation, we need to take a hold of meeting demand shortage, chronic power shortages, rapid demand growth, inadequate energy access. That is, chronic power shortages is there. So everyone can have power supply. So today if there is a demand of 15,000 megawatt, you would be having 1 hour power cut. So that is the opportunity we have. If the demand is going to rise exponentially, we also need to have the opportunity to have a power shortage handled or mitigated in a different way. So rapid demand growth. So demand is very high depending on the industrialization process. Inadequate energy access, RE connectivity, the capacity of 3000 plus megawatt has been added every year. So that is one opportunity. Poor operational efficiency need to be handled. High system losses, and the automation process which is done through the utility need to be having a supported information which has a connected world. Poor system visibility. We need to have a visibility that what are all the participation of the customers or the problems of the customers need to be taken care so that the system is being enhanced. Lack of reliability, that is very much important. What could be done to implement it? Augmentation of generation capacity, efficient improvement, power evacuation and grid access. We need to go with power evacuation. That is very much important. The generation is very high, mean evacuation is very less, mean then it is a trouble for the generation itself. Require smarter system of power balancing to deal with variability and unpredictability. Need for ability to control and monitor power flow till customer level. Real-time system to enable better system visibility and consumer participation. That has been a portal has been developed. Even today we could see that 1912 is the service connection which is available. If we call from any part of the country, it would be connected to the local call center, and thereby the electricity problems can be addressed there. So that is the opportunity. Smart grids can transform the existing grid into a more efficient, reliable, safe, and enable to address the sector challenges. These are all the opportunities. Then again, coming back to the constraints. So every day we talk about newer technology only. Every slide talks about automation. Every slide talks about intelligence. What is our intelligence says? the same thing. We need to go ahead and think about the constraint which is available. So the major constraint with power system has not been addressed even today. Transfer of AC power is limited by several factors like thermal limits, transient stability limit, voltage limit, short circuit current limit. These are all the problem. So we can categorize the problem into 5 categories alone, but whether we have a solution for it, yes, we need to address it. So what automation going to do is something like we need to overcome all such problems, identify the problem in order to provide solutions. Introductions of variable impedance devices is also there. Whether it is automated, everywhere capacitor bunks are there or inductors are there, flash devices are there, but still reliability of service is not there. So automation need to be done. To maintain unity power factor, the power flow, the reactive power meter, that is we are only challenging about the active power flow. If that is not been established, if we want to talk about reactive power, who is going to address it? Then again it is a problem. It is a constraint only. So the major constraints, it is being continued, but always people used to say, so it says that to have effective controlled power flow, increased transmission line stability, improve the security of transmission system, smartness in forecasting, analyzing the data, and thereby injecting and evacuating the power. These are all the terms which has been always given or published in the slides. But what is the active role played by engineer? What is the opportunity available is something like we need to address these 2 slides alone, not more than that. So these things are being done means whether we need to have a AC system or DC system. Whether the DC system have the reliability of the equipment, BLDC motors can work for hours or years depending on the cooling system, or VFD can be applied everywhere. These are all the systems that is available even today, but without reliability. So the reliability need to be increased on researchers only. All such engineers need to work on with the system. So without us, this brighter part of the country won't be there. So it is because of our electrical engineers we are rocking the show or rocking the entire world. So we need to have all such things to have the job opportunities. There are opportunities in all such areas: generation, transmission, distribution, and customer services too. So what I need to do, so in order to get into the job, so there are a lot of companies with us, what I need to do in order to get or enhance my resume. So all such things need to be dealt with some planning. So whether I need to plan it accordingly or not. Yes, we are talking about expediting the fault detection, fault isolation, and service restoration. So that is one opportunity. Intelligently reconfiguring distribution network to reduce losses, or improving power quality by remote voltage and power factor control, increasing infrastructure reliability, and last, reducing operating and maintaining cost with customer satisfaction. These are all the self-healing grids which been are taken, or we've been talking forever. So we will be talking for it ever, but we need to talk about hygiene. So I was talking about the genie, right? So we need to have an intelligent system which caters all the needs of self-healing grids. So it need to have an problem-solving method where the analysis can be done and it can work on with the system. So fundamentally what I need to do is you need not go around and search for the information. In colleges you need to read only the fundamentals, not more than that. So you got an opportunity to read only the fundamentals in colleges. With the fundamentals, you need to work on with the system where the enhancement can be done through the system through automation. You can't expect each and everything from the college, but the college can provide the fundamental system where the fundamental would drive you to the automated system where the country can capture you for jobs or make in India product from you. So this is the opportunity that is available. So I'll just close with the system. So energy is an important commodity in the modern world. So red is been given for energy. That means that always it is in high priority and it is always the need of the work because it is a commodity. I have said that it is a commodity. Every day commodity trading is going to be not bringing a loss, it is only the gain to the world. So that means that we have all such opportunities. Why should we worry about the negative things that been taken care or talk of the town? but we need to work on with the system where we are embedding ourselves with the transportation system, entertainment system, communication system, personal comfort system, or agriculture system, or manufacturing system. When I say a system, the opportunities are very big. It's not a single object I am talking about. The system itself can employ an electrical engineer, means energy opportunities are very big. We can get into the industry, we can rock the show. So all the best for your career. So I'm going ahead and completing my lecture. So any queries, you can post it in our mail ID, or you can ask now, right now, so I can answer you. Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Dear participants, if you have any questions, please type it in the chat box. It will be open now. Sir, please check whether any questions are posted. If it's posted, you please answer the question. Possible questions.
Yes, sir. So I could see. So this screen need to be there, or I can close the screen, sir.
You close it now, sir.
Okay.
You can view that chat box now.
Okay, so there are plenty of messages are there. I don't.
No. Chat box will be open now only, sir.
Oh, chat box. No, the group chat is there. So whether I need to, I don't want to check that group box. Okay, so now, okay, where? Can you share the PPTs? Yes, it can be shared and you can get it. So, very nice presentation. Nice, excellent. Thank you. So, there is a question, sir, regarding the forecasting techniques. Okay, it is going beyond. Regarding the forecasting techniques, is it possible to do a power quality forecasting, sir? So that we can mitigate the power quality issues also. Yes, it was a wonderful question by Tanga Sankaran. He has asked a question, raised a question regarding the forecasting techniques. Is it possible to do power quality forecasting, sir? If power quality means we need to address both the things, the quality of the power. So we need to think about forecasting means it is about the load forecasting, that load forecasting as well as generation forecasting is there. So power quality depends on the generation as well as the distribution. So in that case, forecasting need to be integrated with the power quality. So the quality of a power is something like a voltage, frequency, reactive power, active power, all such parameters need to be taken care. So the forecasting is something like we want to give the power to the society with the quality, but the reliability of the system, if it is enhanced, automatically everything can be fulfilled, and the forecasting methods also can be adapted. But no such facility is available right away, but we can work on it and we can do it. The utility need to work on with the power quality system, the forecasting. So every engineer is working on with the forecasting systems only, but we could not deliver it because of the prevailing situation. We can't dictate it, because the forecasting method is something like if 230 volt is need to be given, 230 volt can be given to them. That is the forecasting that has been done. How much load is there, how much demand is there, depending on the generation, we are giving that particular reactive current that is being pumped into the system. But if voltage is going to drop, the people can't be instructed to have a unity power factor. So it is been already instructed. If they are not adhering it, then the problem is the forecasting would be a failure. So hope I have answered it. So how to enhance artificial intelligence with Industrial 4.0? So another intelligent question is there. Rubio Gandhi has asked the question: how to enhance the artificial intelligence with Industrial 4.0? Industry 4.0 itself talks about automation process. The intelligent modes are being integrated as artificial intelligence in Industrial 4.0. So that means that enhancement can be done, means we need to work on with different algorithms. There are a lot of algorithms which talks about artificial intelligence, which algorithm suits for which particular problem and which can increase the reliability of the system. So that need to be taken care. So that answers the question. Power system expansion planning, which type of software is power system expansion? So for planning a system, there are a lot of softwares which is working on. So normally ETAB and PSSE are particular softwares which is giving interesting ideas. Surya has thrown the question. So there are a lot of softwares working, but we people work with ETAB and PSSE software for expansion. So when there is a new demand rising there, so we would be calculating the power demand and we would be working with the power transfer capability. So depending on it, that would be calculated. So hope that answers it. Okay. For load forecasting and economic load dispatch analysis, from where can I get the cost efficiency? Someone has Toshi Mondoloy has asked this question. For load forecasting and economic load dispatch analysis, from where can we get the cost coefficients? Cost coefficients are always available and published in the booklets itself. So depending on the parameters whatever we are taking, so economic load dispatch, so the problem solving method itself, we have the cost coefficients that is available. So depending on the value of the constants that is being defined, so we can take up the cost coefficients. So we can for theory means we have the authors, a lot of authors available, but practically speaking you can get it from the standard which is been given by CEA or other standards. Thank you. Okay. Whether PLC program is needed for automation. So PLC, Suganya from SIT has asked this question. So sir, whether the PLC program is needed for automation? Yes, it is needed. PLC is also part of the program where the PLC would be connecting the physical things to the automation system, and the intelligence mode like SCADA and the intelligence added to it would value it by enhancing it through artificial intelligence. So the technique is the software part which is dealt would be the AI, and the physical part connected would be PLC and SCADA. That is the source of connectivity. So there are layers for a communication system, right? So that would be dealt there. So that is one thing. How to get zero power cut in India? One intelligent question by SKA Ahmad Khandu Sahib. So he said that how to get zero power cut in India, we need to go surplus. We need to think in a different way that we are always surplus and we are sticking on to the reliability of the service. We people need to think about the service industry, means we need to serve the people and not that we work on with other system. So hope you can understand, the service industry is always to serve the people. So in that case, the service industry can get more people or they can employ more people without thinking that cost cutting need to be done to the utility, but they can enhance the service by equipping more people. So that is one particular area where the service can be enhanced, and also we can have automated method where the challenges are being addressed then and there by each individual, so that the power cut around the world itself it can be stopped. So that is the opportunity. So that is also over. Okay, good. So will you send the feedback? Feedback would be done by sir. So Vijay R has asked the question, what about the power demand now? It's not fully utilized now. What about generation side? So it is a tricky question, or it is an intelligent question only. So it is power demand now is not fully utilized. No, actually the generation is being stopped, or he has the data, I think so. But Vijay sir, so it is something like the generation is always in the higher side only right away, but the demand is not there actually. So whenever the demand is going to rise automatically, then the generation and the demand can be matched. but actually the power that is plant load factor which is being reduced by thermal industry is only 57%. That means that power industry need to work on with 57 means the demand has been reduced or forcibly reduced because we want to reduce the carbon credentials and we want to equip with renewable energy. That is the reason where the power demand and the forecasting is being changed. Actually, the renewable energies are more pumping actually. So hope that answers you. Nice questions. A lot of new queries are there. Okay. Hope everything is complete. Or someone Suresh Kumar Kola has asked this. Yesterday there was a short circuit in Nalkonda 220 kV. It is like a bomb blast and huge loss. Can we isolate the faults? Faults can be identified. Yes, it is a very good question. Faults can be identified and it can be eradicated. Fault is something like it is momentary, means it is impossible to curtail it, but fault can occur due to prolonged problem. So if that is not been addressed at that moment, O&M opportunities, operation and maintenance opportunities are there to eradicate it. Preventive maintenance are there. So preventive maintenance need to be done on a regular basis in order to eradicate this kind of fault. But preventive maintenance has its own hurdles because due to restoration, the climatic changes, and due to drawback of people availability, then that is a trouble. So if 400 kV need to be maintained or 220 kV cable need to be maintained, robotics are the only automation process. So hope you would be coming up to the industry and addressing it. So thank you. So there is one thing you people need to come. Yes sir. Yes sir. Thank you so much sir. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you for your patience. The PPT is shared to the audience sir, so you can share it. I don't have any trouble sharing it, and thank you so much for the opportunity and time and patience sir. We'll meet up once again. Thank you.
Thank you to this wonderful session given by Dr.J.Balamurugan, Assistant Executive Engineer of Tangetco, on the topic Digital Transformation in Power System. I would like to express my sincere thanks to Dr. J. Balamurugan on behalf of the Department of IISc Saharam Institute of Technology and the team of FDP, and on behalf of the participants. On this occasion, I would like to express my sincere thanks to Mr. Sai Prakash Levamuthu, our CEO, and our Principal Dr. Palani Kumar K, and our HOD Mr. Anbalakan A, for giving this opportunity to do a FDP for the in this occasion. And regarding the feedback, a link is given to the chat box now for the participant, and this would be the attendance for the today's session. So please complete the feedback form and submit this within 30 minutes. Thank you. Regarding the tomorrow session, it will be handled by Mr. V.S. Sri Raja Balaguru, Assistant Executive Engineer, Tangetco, on the renewable energy technologies at 5 p.m. tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you.
மேடம் வணக்கம் மேடம், சொல்லுங்க மேடம். இல்லை மேடம், அந்த சாய்ராமில் ஒரு FDP அதான் இப்போ தான் முடிஞ்சிச்சு. நல்ல வேலை.